Hi, Jeff Nelson of VegSource. Recently, Dr. Joel Fuhrman made two videos claiming that I'm attacking, being unfair, or lying about him. I'm linking to those videos below in the description. I debunked some of his false accusations in a recent video called Dr. Fuhrman's Fake Testimonial Part 2. Now, I want to take a moment to respond to additional false allegations he made in the second video. In this recent DHA video, Dr. Fuhrman makes a number of claims about things I supposedly said. His video was transcribed and it's on his website so we can look at each claim he made. He listed a total of 6 claims. Here's the list. This is the first. He, Jeff Nelson, claimed in his video that I charged $60,000 for a 3-month stay at my health retreat. We charged $36,000 for a private room, and that's $12,000 a month. And lower priced accommodations are available too. Okay, Dr. Fuhrman seems to be complaining that I mentioned some months ago that he had charged $5,000 a week for a private room at his San Diego retreat. Someone who actually stayed there told me this was the fee. Because Dr. Fuhrman recommends a 3-month stay, 12 weeks times $5,000 per week would be $60,000. Now, after my video went up, I was told by a close associate of Dr. Fuhrman's, a guy named John, that the correct price was $39,000 for 3 months. Shortly afterwards, I removed the part of the video that talked about the price. Dr. Fuhrman subsequently told me in an email that he charges $36,000 for a 3-month stay. I then asked Dr. Fuhrman about the $39,000, the rate that his associate had described, and Dr. Fuhrman wrote back, "That is correct. We did charge $39,000 for a 3-month stay at one time, so John was correct. But we gave discounts on top of that for construction still going on, but our base price for many months now for a single room is $36,000 and they get a construction discount on top of that." Since the prices for Dr. Fuhrman's retreat had not previously been published, it's impossible to verify what the prices were at any time in the past. It seems like they were testing different prices when they were starting out, and I trusted that the information I had received from one of Dr. Fuhrman's customers was accurate. I didn't pull the $60,000 figure out of thin air. In any event, I had removed my comment about the price when I was informed that there was a question about their prices. Here is Dr. Fuhrman's second point, which is that I claimed much of the research on nuts and cardiovascular disease was funded by the nut industry, and Dr. Fuhrman claimed that the nut studies not funded by the nut industry showed the same positive results about nuts as the ones the nut industry paid for. This is false. The studies not paid for by the nut industry come back with very different results than the ones paid for by the industry. But discussion of nut studies is not a lie or an attack or a smear. For those interested in more specific details, I have put a link to the nut video that I made which addresses this down in the description. Dr. Fuhrman next said, number 3, he, Nelson, claimed I put the Cornell banner behind my name to aggrandize myself and my affiliation with Dr. Campbell in the movie for Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. He knows this is not true, and he has the screenshot to prove that it was a research poster seen on a wall that had Cornell University under Colin Campbell's name and not my name. I think Dr. Fuhrman is confused. The issue about that movie and the Cornell banner was something that was claimed in a letter that Dr. Campbell wrote and published online. I linked to Dr. Campbell's letter, but I didn't discuss the issue of Cornell banners or whatever it is in any of my videos. It seems like a minor point, but Dr. Fuhrman is making it like it's a big point here. In any case, this was a subject between Dr. Campbell and Dr. Fuhrman, and I didn't see whatever, edits of the movie that Dr. Campbell was referring to. I didn't put anything about this in my video, so this wasn't my disagreement. Next, Dr. Fuhrman said, number 4, Nelson gleefully promoted that I put Dr. Campbell's name first in a published research study, and he used a bogus document in his video, not the original article, to demonstrate that lie with a screenshot. He was shown the real article and knows this was a hoax, and that I never did such a thing. Actually, Dr. Fuhrman has used the term bogus document or doctored document a number of times in regards to the version of his 2008 weight loss study that he co-authored with his former intern, Dr. Barbara Sarter, and with Dr. Colin Campbell. Now, Dr. Campbell was listed first rather than Dr. Sarter. I know that Dr. Fuhrman is aware that the document that I showed in my video is not bogus because he and I have discussed this privately. Nothing was doctored or altered in any manner. Sometime in 2011, when he discovered Dr. Fuhrman was going on TV and making false claims about his weight loss study, Dr. Campbell was sent copies of that weight loss article from the website of the journal that published it, called Alternative Therapies. For example, Dr. Campbell was sent emails like this one. The study in this email was copied and pasted from the website of the journal Alternative Therapies, and it listed Dr. Campbell's name first and Dr. Fuhrman's name second. If you click on the read entire article link at the bottom of the email, it takes you to the journal website where it showed the article with the same order of authors. This is what Dr. Campbell had received more than once, and he forwarded copies to me. This is what I showed in my video, which Dr. Fuhrman claimed was a bogus or doctored document. It was not doctored. This did not happen. In Dr. Campbell's online letter, which I discussed in my video, Dr. Campbell said he was shocked to see his name being listed first on the article. Being listed first would convey to people that Dr. Campbell's involvement in this highly flawed study was much greater than it actually had been. I know the article in the email that Dr. Campbell forwarded wasn't doctored, but it was a copy-paste from the journal website. I was curious as to how Dr. Campbell was listed first on the study on the journal's website, so I investigated, and I discovered that the journal Alternative Therapies was responsible for the order of the authors in which they were listed on the website. They list the author names alphabetically as on every one of their studies, and this is on their website, even though this would not be the actual published order of the names in the studies when they're published elsewhere. So someone did change the order of author names on Dr. Fuhrman's weight loss study, but it was the journal itself that did it, which is what I concluded. So I will leave a link below and you can visit the journal's website and see for yourself, but they list authors alphabetically by last name rather than by how the authors have indicated they want to be listed and how the authors are listed for each study on PubMed or elsewhere. No other journal I know of does this. Alternative Therapies is a small and kind of obscure journal that had agreed to publish Dr. Fuhrman's weight loss study after it had been rejected by higher quality journals, and apparently they changed the author order when they published the studies on their own website, which is very unusual. Dr. Fuhrman should retract his claims that it's a doctored or altered document from Dr. Campbell. But the reason Dr. Campbell had his name removed from this study was not because of how the authors' names were listed. Dr. Campbell wanted his name deleted because an independent researcher discovered egregious errors in the study several years after it had been published. Today, Dr. Fuhrman states that he no longer talks about that 2008 study and has removed all references to it from his website. Nevertheless, the study is still part of the medical literature, and Dr. Fuhrman, to my knowledge, has never attempted to have it retracted. Once I determined what had happened with the listing of the authors, I removed the section of my video that questioned why Dr. Campbell's name was listed first. So it's important for people to understand that there is no basis for Dr. Fuhrman to continue to maintain that Dr. Campbell or anyone else doctored or created a bogus document. The journal that Dr. Fuhrman was able to get to publish his study, they changed the order of the authors. Next, Dr. Fuhrman said, 5. Nelson claimed that I ghost wrote the DHA study funded by the Nutritional Research Foundation and faked the results. Yes, I am president of the nonprofit Research Foundation, but after recruiting the scientists to conduct this study, I removed myself from being any part in the data collection or write-up and had no further collaboration with the scientists or even knowledge of the findings until the scientists finished the study. That was the most ethical thing to do. Of course, he has to claim it is faked by me because it obliterates his argument if true. This is incorrect. I talked about the subject of ghost authorship, which is where someone is involved in a study and that fact isn't disclosed to the reader. I have a short video you can watch to understand what I showed in this case with Dr. Fuhrman's DHA study. I'll link to the video below. I also did not say that Dr. Fuhrman faked any results. In my video, I showed how Dr. Fuhrman on his own website was listed as the principal investigator of the DHA study for its entire duration. I showed how he came up with the idea for the study. He fundraised for it. He brought in the researchers. He knew about the results as the study was taking place and told other people, including me, about it. Dr. Fuhrman has never explained why just a few weeks after the study's completion, after 18 months of being listed as the lead researcher, his name was suddenly removed. It creates the impression that this was done to avoid the appearance of a financial conflict of interest. In other words, by not being listed as an author, Dr. Fuhrman could then report the findings of this, independent study to audiences who would have no idea that he was involved. And this is exactly what has happened. Dr. Fuhrman has referenced this study numerous times in public without disclosing the fact that not only did his research organization pay for the study, but the study was his idea, his design, and Dr. Fuhrman's branded supplement was the DHA that was used in phase 2 of the study.
There were studies done also on 166 vegans documenting, who are not supplementing, by the way, with DHA. A recent study was done following 166 vegans who were not supplementing with EPA and DHA. And here's a research study on 166 vegans who were not supplementing with DHA.
Dr. Fuhrman brings up his study as though he just happened to come across an interesting study in a medical journal that he had absolutely no connection with. Do you think that viewers have a right to know about Dr. Fuhrman's potential conflicts of interest when he's discussing the study? Next, Dr. Fuhrman says 6. And in his recent video, Nelson claims I have 35 employees in my supplement company. And Dr. Fuhrman goes on to say that people he employs do different work, not just supplements, and he ends by saying he twisted that to say I have 35 working in a supplement company. Well, I got the number 35 from the same associate of Dr. Fuhrman's who quoted me the $39,000 price for a 3-month stay at Dr. Fuhrman's retreat. John, Dr. Fuhrman's associate, wrote on YouTube that he, Dr. Fuhrman's personal income really comes from events and book sales and not from product sales, though the medical practice and those sales, meaning supplement sales, do support staff of about 35 people. I definitely didn't twist any information as Dr. Fuhrman claims. His associate, John, wrote publicly that Dr. Fuhrman's supplement company, along with the medical practice, support those 35 employees of Dr. Fuhrman. If Dr. Fuhrman wants people to consider employees who specifically deal with the supplements in a separate way from the employees in his medical office, that's fine. I will be happy to edit my statement if he wants to share the exact number of employees that only work on managing that aspect of his business. In this video, Dr. Fuhrman claims I am, quote, intent on destroying his reputation and career, but that's simply not true. He writes, so if you believe Nelson and think I am a liar and criminally faking data and paying off scientists to publish false information to promote my DHA supplements, this appears to be a diversionary tactic. I did not call Dr. Fuhrman a liar. I did not say he's criminally faking data, nor did I say that he's paying off all scientists to publish false information. This is completely untrue. I invite Dr. Fuhrman to provide documentation of my alleged statements. Proving that I said something is easy. It should be. There are hours of me talking on YouTube. Dr. Fuhrman can show a clip of any of these statements that he attributes to me, or he can send a timestamp of one of my videos and link to where I say these things. But that won't happen. They don't exist. He's making things up that I never said. In the past year, I've made a series of videos about issues I think are of interest to the plant-based community. These topics I covered include DHA, nuts, vitamin D, supplements and medical tests being marketed to vegans, and the research used to justify these products. In any videos where Dr. Fuhrman was discussed, I worked to always show him with his own words from public speaking events or interviews. I've shown the text of articles he wrote, public emails that he sent, screenshots from his website, excerpts from his video talks. I have also provided links to the videos and public documents that I reference, and I've never altered a single written or spoken word of his. Dr. Fuhrman recently said I accused him of lying about the many dementia patients he says he saw back when he was treating patients. Dr. Fuhrman wrote a couple of dozen vegan doctors recently stating that I made a video in which I said that Dr. Fuhrman is lying about all the vegans that I, Dr. Fuhrman, know who have become demented due to low DHA levels. Let me reiterate, I did not say that Dr. Fuhrman was lying about his patients, and I again call upon Dr. Fuhrman to show us where I supposedly said this. What I have done is to ask the question of why, in 28 years of medical practice, Dr. Fuhrman has never published a single case study of a patient of his who he says developed dementia due to low DHA levels. In 2002, after he had been in practice for 11 years, Dr. Fuhrman wrote the following. This is from the archive that shows old websites. Dr. Fuhrman said, "I have found hundreds of patient complaints to be related to DHA insufficiency." Those are his own words, which we can see he wrote in 2002. Here in 2019, after being in practice for 28 years, Dr. Fuhrman said that he had seen over 100 cases of problems from DHA insufficiency.
I've seen numerous people, more than 100 people, that develop severe problems, major depression, or it's dementia.
With so many patients of Dr. Fuhrman's experiencing a phenomenon which has never been reported in the medical literature, that low DHA causes dementia, and with an issue of such urgency and importance, it's puzzling why Dr. Fuhrman has never published the findings of even one such patient. Does my pointing out this fact mean that I am saying Dr. Fuhrman is lying? Of course not. It is also unclear how Dr. Fuhrman had already seen hundreds of patient complaints due to low DHA in 2002, but this number had decreased to just over 100 17 years later in 2019. Again, I want to make clear that I'm not accusing Dr. Fuhrman of lying. Looking at this transcript of his video, Dr. Fuhrman says that I am attacking him. What does that actually mean? Using a word like attack is a convenient way not to respond to the actual issues that I've raised. It's a way to make Dr. Fuhrman appear to be a victim. Dr. Fuhrman puts a lot of information out to the public, and I see my role as a journalist to report on issues of interest and of importance to the vegan community. Now, I could have responded to Dr. Fuhrman's 6 false claims about me in his video in the same way. I could have said he's attacking me. I could have said he's vindictive, he's out to damage my reputation, as he has said about me previously. Dr. Fuhrman has made numerous false accusations against me and asserted that I did things that I never did or said things that I never said. I've asked him repeatedly to provide evidence of my saying these things. To date, he has not provided anything. For example, Dr. Fuhrman has said the following: Nelson suggested I paid off all the researchers. Nelson said I faked the results of the DHA study. Nelson posted a video besmirching my reputation that I paid off all the researchers in this study. Nelson attempts to discredit or hide all studies that disagree with him. Nelson already sent a complaint letter to this journal and attempted to get the journal to retract the study. It did not work. He lied to them in his complaint. Nelson also sent a complaint letter to the journal which published a study reporting the omega-3 index in 166 vegan subjects, claiming I ghostwrote the study and was hiding my involvement with it. Nelson takes clips of me and manipulates them to make me look foolish. Nelson pulls clips out of context and edits them to change the meaning. So these are all things that Dr. Fuhrman has made up. He provides no actual evidence that I said or did any of these things. If Dr. Fuhrman wants to change the subject from what my videos are about and make me the subject, then he needs to start providing evidence that anything that he's saying about me is actually true. To date, he's provided zero evidence about what he's claiming I've said or done. That's the opposite of how I try to work when I report. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.